do, feel really strongly about and care about when you've got that time away to think clearly, and that may mean, taking some time away from where you are at the moment to have that space. I used to actually think, I would love to start my own business, but I'd never know what to do. And it was funny, then when I took that time away, after a few months, suddenly, all these ideas started coming to me. So when you give yourself that space, I think it's a really valuable thing to do. So I took this time off and was doing a whole lot of research into what may have caused this Graves' disease. And there was actually a lot out there, and a lot of other women, particularly young women generally, often in their 20s or early 30s, that had gone through a similar thing, not necessarily Graves' disease, but some sort of other autoimmune disease or some sort of other condition that was sort of an unexplainable by the conventional medical profession. And after doing all of that research, and I mean, that still continues to this day, and I'm now studying it full time and absolutely loving it, but more and more the arrows were pointing to me to, I guess, three things. And the first one was increasing or moving towards more of a plant-based whole foods diet. That seemed to pop up a lot. The second one was moving to a more organic diet, but also, so not only what you're putting inside your body, but what you're putting on your body, trying to reduce the number of chemicals and because that your body's being exposed to. And it's difficult in this day and age because we're driving around in cars and we're going to be exposed to a certain amount no matter what we do, but just trying to reduce those where you can. And then the last point was really psychological aspects. And I think, and I mean, to this day, helping my dad with some issues at the moment. He's got high cholesterol and clotting in the coronary arteries around the heart, and stress is a massive factor, and we've sort of been tracking it over time, and we were talking about it today in class as well, that can be such a big issue in terms of your health. So I think I underestimated that at the beginning, because I thought, I can just tick off all these, eat healthy, do all the right things, and I'll be fine. And I think the psychological aspect is really important too. So yeah, really what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your body, but also what you're putting in here as well, I think is so important to health, no matter what the health issue is. And the exciting thing for me is learning more and more that those aspects, they're actually applicable to every health issue. So it's not just Graves' disease, it could be polycystic ovaries or lupus or Crohn's, or even things like, cancer and cardiovascular disease. It's interesting to learn that a lot of those diseases are actually only really prevalent in the Western world, and they've only really become prevalent in the last sort of 50 odd years. And there's something we're doing differently than more rural communities or developing countries, although you're now starting to see the same sort of issues happening in China and South America with diabetes, and I mean all those same sort of Western diseases of affluence, but that all of those can be treated by these, by focusing on these same sort of things. Increasing the plant-based whole foods in your diet, trying to move to organic where you can in your food and in your skincare, but also what you're putting around your home. So, either organic or natural based. So, trying to move away from things that have got pesticides and sprays and chemicals in them, and then the stress factor as well. So, I guess I went through this process. I was trying to make all these changes in my own life, and actually one interesting thing that with Graves' disease is because it's related to your hormones. One big aspect of it is that for women, that your hormonal system shuts down. So all of your, you stop having monthly cycles, and you basically can't get pregnant. So, and at the time, that was something I was kind of looking forward to in the next few years. So that was a really scary aspect to it as well, that, I might have this job, which maybe looks good on paper, but my health's really bad and I can't have a family, and that's pretty, for me, that was, I don't know, in my early 20s I didn't think about it much, but as I got on into the later 20s, I thought, shoot, that's something that's really important to me, and I want to be able to have that. So this is pretty exciting now, because it's sort of the final healing thing for me, to tell me that my body's doing, it's doing the right things. I guess 18 months later I was on these drugs and progressively was reducing over time, and then about 18 months ago finally came off the drugs, and so I've been off medication now for a good 18 months. So effectively the Graves' disease is healed, and I just think it's a really powerful thing that you've got these medical professionals who, I really respect, and as I said, my mum and my brother are both doctors, so I really respect what they do, and I considered going to med school after school as well, but that there's aspects of health which, that are developing all the time, which they don't have all the answers to, and that certainly can't be cured in a drug, and that there's lifestyle factors which can sound a bit airy-fairy. I'm the first one to think that and be sceptical of that, but there's certainly are lifestyle factors that you can address which can help you heal these things, and you don't necessarily always need to, a drug might help you in the short term. I think that's where they can be really valuable, but that, you can heal yourself through similar sort of lifestyle changes. So, I guess I've been off the medication for 18 months now. Started running my business, Be Good Organics,